Hey everyone, Taylor. I'm going to be giving you guys today my ceremonial speech. And if you could, just bear with me. I'm pretending that my desk in front of me is my podium and the wall behind me is hundreds of people, if not 1,000. But, it feels great to stand here and give the speech today. I might not be your typical college student, and my journey didn't come straight out of high school. I wasn't armed with like a backpack and a schedule. It started years after. I was working long hours. I was just surviving. Surviving. Life's toughest battles and learning lessons that no classroom can teach. And going back to school isn't easy. It's juggling responsibilities that don't stop just because we enroll in classes. We're clocking into jobs, paying bills, raising kids, families, supporting our partners, and then we're coming back to textbook deadlines and Zoom lectures. Some nights I'll be honest. My eyes are bloodshot, my eyes are droopy, and I'm like, what am I doing? Did I do too much? Am I doing too much? But then over time, I've learned something powerful. It's that it's not too late to choose yourself. It's not too late to bet on your future. It's never too late to try again, and even if the world tells you so. I remember that my dad always used to tell me. Not used to tell me, but there's this phrase that I always like, and it's a house bought at 50 years old is still a home. Just because you don't meet the expectations of like how old you're supposed to be doesn't mean as much. I'm 36. I feel old, but I refuse to let it define me. I feel proud to be an honor student, really. But being an honor student comes with its whole kind of strength. We're not always the fastest. We're not the most tech savvy. We're not the most resilient. We've lived life. We've experienced setbacks. Some people hit rock bottom, but we've all picked ourselves back up. And there's a different type of motivation that comes with an older student. And I don't know, maybe I'm just being biased, but it gives us a different type of motivation, really. We're not in school to define ourselves. We're here because we've already met ourselves, and we realize that we can become more. We're capable of much more. It's not just about getting a degree, because a degree is just like a piece of paper. If you think it doesn't, the piece of paper doesn't mean anything. It's about doing more than it's about rewriting our story. It's about breaking generational cycles for other families who haven't gone to college. It's about proving to ourselves, to others, that we're allowed to grow, we're allowed to evolve. At any age, I don't know where this age thing comes from. It also takes a different courage to do this. It takes courage to walk in the classroom. And you see peers, or you see people not your age. It takes courage to do that. It takes courage to say, we might already be in careers. We might already be in jobs raising our families. It takes courage to really say, yes, I'm tired, but I'm not done yet. I want to do this. I want to do more. Is that courage? Yeah, I feel like it is. That I feel like courage is going outside what's comfortable for you. We're not just ourselves. We're not just here for our children. We're not here for our coworkers who might be inspired to follow us, because of their own dreams. But we're here for people who have told us that it's too late, or you can't do school. Like, you're how old are you? What, you're going to college now? We belong here just as much as anyone else, and our stories matter, our voices matter, our dreams matter. We're American people. If you're like me, you're balancing school, work life. God, it's difficult. I mean, but everything in between. I want to say, I see you, and I come into class, and I see you, I respect you, and I walk the same walls with you. We may be taking the long way around. I may be stretching this out a little bit, but every step forward is a powerful reminder that growth doesn't have an expiration date. So let's celebrate not just the degree that we're working toward, but the decision we made to change our lives. I mean, to return to believe in ourselves again. God, I can't wait to create. I mean, I'm beyond words right now. I'm just like excited. I can't wait to walk across this stage. I mean, this is just a special time in my life where, I can show that I can do it. Thank you.